The security alarm shrieked as the unknown vessel materialized at the edge of Dorvanian space. Admiral Jezak dropped his ceremonial cup, spilling blue liquid across the pristine floor of the Victory Hall. 50 planetary cycles since humanity's supposed extinction, and now this, a massive warship bearing the unmistakable insignia of the long-dead Terran Fleet Command. Impossible, he whispered, mandibles clicking rapidly in distress. We wiped them out, all of them. The Dorvanian council chamber buzzed with panicked voices. Holographic displays showed the human vessel, nearly 2 kilometers long, bristling with weapon systems the Dorvanians had never seen before. Admiral Jezok stood before the Supreme Council, his exoskeleton pale with fear. We confirmed their extinction, Council Leader Tavri said, her compound eyes reflecting the red emergency lights. Their home system was sterilized. Their colonies were hunted down. Their final transmission was recorded for our Victory archives. Jezok flickered his sensory antennae nervously. The ship is requesting direct communication. They're asking for you by name, Supreme Leader. The chamber fell silent. Through the massive viewing portal, the stars of Dorvanian space glittered peacefully, betraying no hint of the threat that had appeared after 50 years of comfortable dominance. Put them through, Tavri finally ordered. The holographic display shifted, and a human face appeared. Female, dark-skinned, with gray-streaked hair and eyes that seemed to burn with cold fire. She wore a simple black uniform with 5 silver stars on each shoulder. I am Fleet Admiral Naomi Khatri of the Terran Alliance, she said, her voice steady and emotionless. You thought you killed us all. You were wrong. Tavri rose from her ceremonial seat, trying to project confidence she didn't feel. Human, your species was eradicated by decree of the Dorvanian hegemony. Your presence is unexpected, but changes nothing. One ship cannot threaten our empire. The human's face remained impassive. Look again. Across Dorvanian space, alerts began flooding in. Not one ship, dozens, hundreds, materializing near every major Dorvanian world simultaneously. Impossible, Jezok whispered. Our sensors would have detected their approach. Your sensors, Admiral Khatri replied, were designed to detect ships moving through normal space or using standard jump points. We don't do either anymore. In his private chambers, Technical Director Proles reviewed the scans of the human vessels with growing horror. The Council had assigned him to assess the threat, but what he was seeing defied explanation. These energy signatures, he muttered to his assistant. They're bending space itself around their ships. His assistant, Vuli, leaned forward. The humans were primitive, barely interstellar. We crushed them easily. We crushed their military, Proles corrected. But we never understood their science. They were unusual thinkers. Proles remembered the interrogations, how the captured human scientists seemed more fascinated by Dorvanian technology than afraid of their captors. How they asked questions that seemed nonsensical. How they laughed sometimes, even during pain treatments. Their minds work differently, he said slowly. They see patterns we don't. They make connections we would never consider. And most dangerously, they hold grudges. An alert chimed. The humans were broadcasting on all frequencies, to all Dorvanian worlds simultaneous. Play it, Proles ordered. Admiral Khatri's face appeared again. People of Dorvania, 50 years ago your leaders attacked Earth without warning. They bombed our colonies. They hunted our evacuation ships. They declared humanity extinct and celebrated their victory. They were wrong. The broadcast shifted to show images of humans, billions of them, living and working on strange worlds and massive space habitats, unlike anything in Dorvanian records. We retreated beyond your sensor range. We rebuilt, we advanced, and we remembered. In the council chamber, panic had given way to grim calculation. Military Commander Savik outlined their defensive options. We still outnumber them. Our empire spans 3,000 worlds. We can mobilize millions of warships. Did you not see their technology? Jezok countered. They're manipulating fundamental forces we barely understand. Tavri silenced them with a gesture. The humans were always emotional, irrational creatures. Whatever technological advantage they've gained, we can exploit their psychological weaknesses, prepare a strike force to target their flagship, kill their admiral. They'll crumble into disarray. Tactical displays lit up as Dorvanian attack craft launched toward Admiral Katri's vessel. 50 sleek, predatory ships, the pride of the hegemony's fleet. None of them reached their target. Some simply vanished. Others appeared to freeze in space. A few turned around and returned to their hangars, pilots seemingly unaware they had been redirected. "What is happening?" Tavri demanded. A new transmission came through, not from Admiral Katri this time, but from a young human male with pale skin and a different uniform. "This is Science Director Alejandro Morozov. I apologize for the confusion. Your pilots are fine. They're just experiencing some temporal displacement. Side effect of our defense grid. They'll reappear in about 6 hours, completely unharmed but about 2 light years off course." Morozov smiled, and the expression sent chills through every Dorvanian present. It wasn't triumphant or aggressive. It was the smile of someone explaining a basic concept to a child. "We could have destroyed them, of course," he continued conversationally. "But we've moved beyond that kind of thinking. 3 days later, the situation had reached a stalemate. The human ships remained in position. The Dorvanians had ceased attack attempts after realizing the futility. Emergency council sessions continued around the clock. Jezok found prowlers in the archive room, reviewing ancient records. "What are you looking for?" Jezok asked. "Something I remembered," Prowls replied, not looking up. "During the war, we captured a human psychologist. Before execution, she said something that's been troubling me for 50 years. He found the record and played it. A human female, blooded but defiant, stared into the camera. 'You think you've won because you're stronger,' she said. 'But humanity doesn't evolve like other species. We don't just adapt to our environment, we adapt our environment to us. And our greatest adaptation is how we respond to threats. You're not exterminating us, you're forcing us to evolve.'" Priljil stopped the recording. "I didn't understand then. I do now." A new alert sounded. Admiral Katri was requesting a meeting in person on the Dorvanian capital world. The council chamber hushed as Admiral Katri walked in, flanked by 2 unarmed humans. She carried a small metal case. "I bring 2 offerings," she announced without preamble. "First, proof." She opened the case and removed a simple data crystal, which she placed on the central table. "This contains the coordinates of 3,000 human worlds and habitats, spread across 12 galaxies. We didn't just hide, we expanded. There are over 30 billion of us now. We've made contact with 17 other sentient species. We've built a civilization larger than your hegemony." The council members exchanged horrified glances. "Second, I bring a choice." Katri's voice softened slightly. "Revenge or reconciliation?" She placed 2 more objects on the table. A weapon sleek and clearly advanced, and what appeared to be a simple handwritten document. "The weapon can destroy stars. We have thousands of them. We could use them right now." She gestured to the document. "Or we can sign this peace treaty which establishes boundaries, reparations, and a path forward." Tavri stared at the human in disbelief. "After what we did to your species, you offer peace. This is the irrational thinking we expected." Admiral Katri smiled for the first time. "No, it's the most rational choice. Revenge would be easy. Peace is harder. And humanity has learned to do hard things very, very well." She leaned forward. "But make no mistake, we remember everything. We forgive by choice, not by nature. Your ancestors declared humanity extinct. We're giving you one chance to admit they were wrong." 50 years later, Admiral Jezok, now ancient and retired, watched from his garden as human and Dorvanian children played together in the community park. The peace had held, though not without difficulties. The galaxy had transformed in ways no one could have predicted. His great-granddaughter, Eliza, named in the human style as part of the cultural exchange program, ran up to him. "Great-grandfather, my teacher says you were there when the humans returned. Were you scared?" Jezok clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. "Yes," he admitted, "but not for the reason you might think. I wasn't afraid of their weapons or their ships." "What then?" the child asked. Jezok looked up at the sky, where the orbital platforms housing both species sparkled against the darkness. "I was afraid because I realized what we had truly done. We hadn't tried to exterminate a species. We had tried to exterminate an idea. And ideas—" He paused, remembering Admiral Khatri's eyes as she offered both destruction and peace in the same moment. "Ideas are the one thing in this universe that cannot be killed.